I have 8 ways to help you save space in a small workshop, and some of them are not as straightforward as they may seem. Number 1, it needs to have some sort of space-saving mechanism. Now, yes, to save space, the furniture has to do something that saves space. Sounds obvious, but stay with me. In this video, I'm building a foldable shelving unit, which will look like a standard 4-tiered shelving unit, but then it can fold into a flat workstation, workbench, or table. But there are other mechanisms in furniture that don't involve folding. You can have some part of the furniture rotating, swiveling, revolving, shifting in some way. In this build, it will be a folding mechanism, and I'm building 8 L-shaped folding arms that will help this piece of furniture, well, fold. With any of these mechanisms, you gotta have some reinforcement to make sure that the piece of furniture is stable and sturdy. So for these L-shaped arms, I am putting a corner bracket, this metal corner bracket, on 6 of the 8 L-shaped arms, and I'll tell you in just a minute when I get to it why I'm not putting these corner brackets on all 8 arms. To connect all these arms together, I am going to cut some really long pieces of 2x4s. For pretty much this entire project, except for some of the shelves, I am using 2x4s. So I got some 8-foot 2x4s, I'm cutting them down, and then I'll connect all of these L-shaped folding arms together. Number 2, build a folding workbench. I know this one is kind of cheating. How do you make your furniture save space? Build a folding workbench. But hear me out. The workbench is my most used piece of furniture in the workshop, and my workshop's really small. It's 198 square feet, not 200, so I made my workbench fold. This is the middleweight folding workbench 2.0. I have plans for it. I'll put the link for those plans in the description below. But whether you build a folding workbench based on some of my plans or not, I think it's a really nice space-saving piece of furniture to have in a workshop. I switched out the workbenches for this assembly part because the folding workbench was a little larger. It's still not quite large enough, but it worked a little better. I need to prepare you for something. Once you see this foldable shelving unit fold near the end of this video, you will utter the phrase, "How neat is that?" And you will not know where it comes from. You will have never said that phrase before, but it's coming. Tip number 3, which is next, because if my math is correct, which it usually is not, 3 comes after 2, is really important for this project specifically, because if I didn't utilize that tip, this whole thing could have fallen apart or gotten out of whack in a matter of weeks or months. And I expect this piece of furniture to last a long time. Building things like this foldable shelving unit is a lot of fun, and it also helps me calm those anxiety monsters that creep up into my life. The workshop is a relaxing place. It's my happy place, and in life there can be a lot of worry, but in here there's definitely less of it. Another way to help would be to use the services of the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp makes starting therapy easy, and I like easy. It's my favorite. Therapy can help you spot the patterns behind that anxiety spiral or whatever you're dealing with and give you real tools to work through it. Again, it's super easy to start. You take a short quiz, get matched with a licensed therapist quickly, and you can talk by phone, text, or video, whatever is most comfortable for you. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch at any time at no extra cost. Over 6 million people have gotten help through BetterHelp, earning a 4.8 out of 5 stars rating in the App Store, and that's almost all the stars. Get 10% off your first month of therapy by going to betterhelp.com woodworking.com/custom woodworks. And I'll put a link in the description below. Use dry wood. I know, sounds stupidly obvious, but again, just hear me out. I could have used a 2x10 for this stationary shelf, but the only 2x10s that my Home Depot, the Home Depot in my area sells, it's not my Home Depot, I don't own it, is green 2x10s. And green means that it is wet. So if I would have used a 2x10 here instead of gluing dry 2x4s together, it would have almost guaranteed cracked and split. Hopefully the power doesn't go out in the middle of the project. Oh, there it goes. Time out for a second for a little shop tip when using the table saw. I had kept the 80 tooth blade in this table saw because I forgot to change it out. And when ripping a board, you really want to go ideally for a 24 tooth blade, and I had an 80 tooth blade in, so that was really bad. So it was just too much for the saw, and my outlets aren't very good, so I tripped the breaker. I put in a 40 tooth blade, not a 24 tooth blade, because I am, what do you call it? Lazy, and I knew I wouldn't be changing the blade that often. So a 40 tooth general purpose blade is pretty good for most things. And I'm doing this cut in 2 passes instead of just 1. Now that the stationary shelf is cut to size, I'm going to attach it to these folding arm assemblies. I always try and be honest with you, so even though here it's only looking like it took me a few seconds to line everything up and then drive in the screws, in real life it took me, I'm not joking, about an hour just to get everything lined up, square. I had to have the perfect amount of overhang on each side of the shelf, and it was hot. Anyways, things in these videos always seem a little faster and easier and simpler than they do in real life. So I try and shed some real light on that when I can. Tip number 4, if you're going to build a space-saving piece of furniture that is going to fold, rotate, revolve, or do something wild, you need to have a sturdy base. It's all about that base. It needs to be rock solid, and this base, which you'll see in just a minute, was not rock solid initially, but to make it as rigid as possible, I always like to use wood glue and screws when assembling the base. But don't worry, you're worried, don't be. I'm gonna show you just how wobbly this base was initially when it's all put together and what I did to fix it. In a small workshop, mobility is key. So to connect these 2 base structures together, I'm adding these stretchers, and then I'll be adding some 3-inch lockable casters, but not just any lockable casters. I like these ones specifically. Normal casters, you lock them when you push the lever down, and to unlock them, to move the piece of furniture, you lift the lever up. But sometimes I'm wearing tennis shoes, it's not that comfortable on my feet to pull up with my toes. So these ones, there's 2 levers, and you lock it by pushing one side down and unlock it by pushing the other side down. I just find these a little more user-friendly. I'll put a link to these casters in the description below. Now, I, for the most part, have all of my furniture mobile in my workshop, because since it's small, I often have to move things around to make space for other things or to assemble large projects. Certain things are not mobile. I have some wall cabinets and a lumber rack and some other things. clamp rack that are not mobile, those are generally things that are secured up on the wall. Pretty much everything that's on the ground is on wheels, so I can move them around whenever I need to. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy my confusion as I put this upside down on the base. It was just too good to leave out of the video. There we go. I figured it out. What a dummy. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be nicer to myself. What a great guy who just made a mistake like we all do. Oh, I totally forgot to mention this earlier, but I didn't put the metal corner bracket on two of those L-shaped folding arms because that is where the stationary shelf went, and the metal corner brackets would have gotten in the way. I'm making the shelves to put on this foldable shelving unit because if I didn't put shelves on it, it would just be called a foldable unit, and that doesn't really make sense. But as I make the shelves, let's talk about number 6. Your workshop furniture needs to serve more than one purpose. And if you're in a small shop, you know this. It doesn't always have to serve multiple purposes, but most of the time it should, just to save space. If I was in a giant shop, I would have one cabinet for my drill and driver and one for my sanding equipment. But because I'm in a smaller than one car garage shop, I have a sanding / drill and driver cabinet all in one. Look at this mess. What a messy guy I am. Not really. This is sort of where all the accumulation of stuff ends up during a project. The rest of my shop is pretty good. I got some extra lumber I actually need to get rid of, but I actually try and keep my shop pretty organized. I just feel more productive that way. One way I keep my shop so organized is I don't have a ton of furniture. The furniture I do have has multiple purposes, as I was mentioning earlier. I have my foldable workstation that also has drawers and open storage for hardware and accessories, but also serves as a desk. My folding workbenches serve as a folding workbench and as an outfeed and assembly table. So my point is, if you're making a piece of furniture and you're in a really small shop, try to have it serve multiple purposes. Well, we can't have this thing tipping over, so let's make some legs. I decided to go with some folding 90-degree leg brackets that were about 1.5 inches wide, so my legs are going to be 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. I decided to go with some brackets I've never used before. I really liked the Rockler 90-degree folding leg brackets, but I have become accustomed to a certain speed of shipping and a certain price for shipping, free. So I went with these, where there was free shipping and it was only going to take a couple days. I really like the Rockler ones, but hopefully these will do the trick. I didn't plan the locations of these legs out perfectly, so I was driving in these screws and I was trying to drive them into a knot, and this happened. Yep, the screw broke. And then when I tried to test out the legs, this happened.
All right, let's go. You can do this.
But here's the fix. It's really simple. I just recessed a 3/8 inch hex screw. You can do this right when you make your legs before you even test them out. And you can recess it enough to where you may not even have to use this screw. But if you need a little added length on your leg, just unscrew this a little bit so it gives you just a little added length on each or even one of the legs. Okay, this thing is coming together, but it's a little shaky. Let's make it less shaky, more sturdy, more rigid. I'm measuring the back of this base and then cutting a 2x4 to length and adding this brace piece to the back of the base. Let's see how it works out. Hey, not bad. This thing really isn't going to take any lateral force, so I think that's going to be solid. The last thing you got to do when making a piece of furniture that folds or saves space in some way is be able to lock it in place. And this, it's really important for this foldable shelving unit because we do not want this folding into a table and we don't want it to. So I'm adding an eye bolt to each side to lock it in place. The last thing we have to do before we test this out with some weight on it, we'll put some tools on it, is add these gas struts, which are rated for 200 newtons, which I have no idea what that means, but hopefully they work well. Before we test this foldable shelving unit out with the gas struts and make sure it works well, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I used birch plywood for the shelves, and you can tell that it's birch because of the way it is. All right, let's take this puppy for a ride. That was weird. All right. Ooh, that is smooth. Oh, that's easy. It's a one-hand job. All right, that worked pretty well. I'm happy with it. Now let's load it up with some stuff and organize this shop a little more. The heaviest stuff you're gonna wanna put on the second from the bottom shelf that has the stationary shelf that doesn't rotate. Second from the heaviest stuff you'll put on the very bottom shelf, and then the third shelf, and then the lightest stuff you'll put on the very top. The gas struts made it pretty easy to lift up, even with stuff on it, and turn it into a shelving unit, and the leg brackets actually worked out really well. I still like the Rockler ones a little better, but these work nicely. Since you watched this video all the way through, I know you're really gonna like this next one. I'll see you over there.